Hello everyone. Thank you for clicking in to Cultural Cuisine. My name is Faraz Hassan. I am a commercial lender on the business team here. It is my pleasure to introduce to you our guest today who has come a long way from Egypt, the land of the pyramids, Miss Rita McKinley. Welcome to Cultural Cuisine.
Thank you, Faraz. Thank you for inviting me to be your guest this week. And I promise I didn't come on a camel. I came on 32 years ago from Egypt. I'm delighted to share part of my culture. I love the idea of Cultural Cuisine to introduce us as part of the Harborstone family, to get to know each other better and maybe try something new in our kitchen.
Absolutely. That is the main focus for Cultural Cuisine, is to bring awareness to all the different cultures that make us a big family here. We are delighted to have you here today. Before we get into all the fun cooking, could you please tell everyone a little bit about yourself?
Absolutely. So I started working here 5 years ago, but there was a reason for me to find a job, because when my two kiddos were about to go to college, my husband and I didn't want them to have student loans. So Mama had to find a job. I homeschooled them and I'm very proud of them. Both of them have graduated and professionals now. I wanted to work and be able to pay their tuition. I was a banker in Canada for 8 years, so naturally I would think of having another job as a banker too. But my husband and I were members in Harborstone, and whenever I came to the Lakewood branch, it was always so friendly and inviting. And I said, I want to work here. I don't want to work in a big bank that will just swallow me. So I applied, and I wanted to work in a branch that closes on Saturday, and Lakewood is. I applied, and Brian called me one day and he said, there is a position open at Lakewood. Would you like to come in? I got interviewed, I got the job, and this August I will be finishing 5 years. I am so grateful to the opportunity that I had with Harborstone. Not only did I thankfully pay the tuition of my kids, and both of them have zero student loan, I found a family in Harborstone. We delight in coming to work together. We delight in serving our members and give them our empathetic ear and solid advice in such a cozy, friendly atmosphere that our members love to come over and over again. It's like home away from home. So it was a blessing, and I would do it 100 times over. I love to come to work every day.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, Rita, for sharing that. That's a huge sacrifice, homeschooling your kids and then going to work to take care of their college. They are lucky to have you. And we are lucky to have you as well.
Thank you.
So on that note, what is on the menu today?
It's a delicacy. Well, it's a kind of appetizer as well. It could be served as a main course. It's called goulash. In Egypt, we use the phyllo dough a lot. So this dish is going to incorporate the phyllo dough with some ground beef and ground sausage. We will bake it and you will try it. And if you like it, it is such an easy recipe. And my family like it. So if they like it, I hope you too will like it.
That is awesome. Sounds delicious and sounds very interesting. So with that, let's get cooking.
Now, the dish being prepared for us today is one from a beautiful and rich culture. One that's brought us inventions like paper, locks and keys, and even toothpaste, the necessities of life.
Well, Kevin, there is far more than that. Don't forget makeup. We invented makeup. But actually, the culture is extremely broad and big, and I really don't know where to begin.
Well, let's begin with the food.
Food is always the best way to anything and the first thing. So today I'm going to show you a specific Egyptian meal.
Okay.
It's called goulage.
Right,
so we're going to warm up our skillet, and we will drizzle some extra virgin olive oil, just a little bit. Everything goes better with butter.
Nice little good tablespoon.
Yeah, generous tablespoon. And then we are going to saute some onions, one big large onion. Okay, so that's gonna take about 7 to 6 minutes once it gets a little bit caramelized.
Okay, a little bit, not all the way. Okay, so we got the onions in there. So while we're doing that, you're mixing it. I want to know what makes this dish important to you and your family.
I remember when I come back from school and I can smell my mama making it, I know that we may be having company because it's a nice appetizer or a nice part of the meal. So it was exciting to me because we're gonna have company, and then it tasted very nice. It's a dish that is easy for the American palate, and it's a delightful dish for everybody to enjoy. So at this point, you could see that the onion is starting to respond. So I am gonna add some seasonings. Freshly cracked pepper, salt, and now here comes the fun part. That's what makes it Egyptian.
Funner, it was already fun.
This is 7 kinds of spices.
7.
That are particular for meats and chickens. And we call it Baharat. And then some freshly ground coriander. And then I am gonna put another kind of seasoning. It's called Greek seasoning. It's really flavorful. It has a ton of herbs. You know what? Nothing is more beautiful.
The aroma coming off
Can
of
you
this
smell it?
already makes me want to catch a plane.
Yeah. Or ride a camel.
Or ride a camel.
You have to ride a camel.
So it goes hand in hand.
Exactly.
Pyramids and camels.
Yes. And then, as you see, the color.
Definitely caramelized.
Next step is the ground beef. And I'm wearing a pair of gloves, so I can easily do that. And then immediately you add ground sausage. And then as you see, the ground sausage has some nice fat. It will render, so it will season the whole thing at the same time and flavor it.
So about how long will we want to let this?
We will cook it until there is no pink, but not 100% cooked. Because it's still gonna go in the oven. And then I just break it down like that. So at this stage, Kevin, we're gonna add more seasoning.
More seasoning.
And the best part is to always season in stages.
That part.
So I'm gonna add more salt.
So remember, we seasoned before, and this is after, and it's going in the oven once all of that is done.
I'm gonna put all the seasonings that I have put before, and as you saw, I added the allspice, I added the coriander, I added the salt and pepper, and then finally I'm gonna add.
Oh, we know that. That's the Greek garlic.
And finally, just a dash of these 7 spices. So as you see, the sausage and the ground beef melted together. You cannot tell which is which.
Right.
And that's what we want to achieve. Okay, now this meat is done. So I'm going to turn that burner off. And then we will start layering it. But before we layer, we need to melt some butter. So I'm going to just switch burners.
Get that.
This is a stick of butter. Thank you, my dear helper. My sous chef. So it's gonna take at least a stick and a half. This is the secret. Not all Egyptians follow recipes. We eyeball 99%. In the meantime, let's look at the star of the show, which is the phyllo dough. Phyllo dough.
Phyllo dough. Phyllo dough.
And the phyllo dough is a very delicate dough, extremely thin. So we have to be delicate with it too. So this is the last layer I will do for the bottom part. And then we will put our ground beef in the middle. And then we will do the same thing, layer it back. What we will do is we will put the tray on the bottom part of the oven for 20 minutes. And then we will get it out. We will just drizzle it with a mixture of eggs and milk that I will show you in a minute. Part is very important. I'm gonna pour all this butter on it, but I want to cut it first so the butter gets in between the layer. We are gonna water that butter into the oven, 375 for 20 minutes. And then when we get it out, we will do the final part for it.
All right, so we got that in the oven doing its thing, and then we have one more step before that comes out.
So I'm gonna get 3 eggs. So I'm gonna whisk these eggs by themselves first a little bit, and then 2 cups of milk. And I'm using whole milk. Of course, we have to season a little bit. So we will put some salt, and then we will put some pepper, mix those together, and then a sweet dash of the green.
Again, Can't go wrong.
No, you can't. And I like to rub them between my hands to release the oils, and hence the flavor will be multiplied. So once that is done, by the time that the goulash will be almost ready, we'll water that, put it back in the oven, and then enjoy it.
Can't wait. Oh my God. So now we got everything else. We are just about to wrap up. My favorite part incoming.
Taste testing.
Yes.
Okay, so we finished the mixture and it's time to get this beautiful tray out.
I'm ready.
Yeah, look at that color.
Oh, man.
Look at that color.
If only you could see this.
Yes.
Oh, jeez.
This is the color that you want. Look at how beautifully golden it is.
Smell.
Here, the scissor.
The smell. All right, back in we go. It's not me, it's the glove. Little irresponsible of her to let me do that, but we made it. And now we wait just a little while longer.
We need to turn the oven into 400.
Okay.
And we will
400.
leave it for about 10 to 12 minutes.
All right. That
So
final
now
step.
the final step.
I lost
Here
my
we go.
privileges, by the way, but
Yeah. Now, would you look at that?
wow.
Make sure that these are released.
It's awesome. It's visually appealing as well. All right, the moment we have all been waiting for. It smells delicious in here, and let's dig in, see how we like this.
I'll dig in too.
Wow. Yeah, I'm scarfing this down. Definitely.
Wow. Rita, thank you so much for spending the day with us. This was truly awesome. I mean, just seeing you whip this out from like absolutely like scratch, really appreciate it. We learned so much about your culture, about your cuisine, about your family, and we're very thankful that you chose to do this.
Well, you guys fulfilled my dream. I don't need to be on Food Network anymore.
There
I
we
got
go.
it.
Nice.
It was a delight. It was an honor. And I hope that brings our family in Harborstone together to get to know each other.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Well, thank you everyone for joining us today for Cultural Cuisine. Please subscribe, like, comment. If you have a dish that you'd like to share with us, please reach out to Kevin or I. Thank you for joining, and hope you enjoy the goulash.
Bilhana with Shifa, which means may that bring healing and joy to your body.
All right. Thank you, Rita.
Thank you.
Thank you.